I'm at it again today. I guess it's the weekend of videos. I've been working really hard on some recent videos, and this will probably be a short one, hopefully. I haven't even began the process, everything that's been going on with me and my children. But I wanted to show you some pictures of what's been happening and why, I, I'm trying to do the best I can to remain neutral or stay away from these people. But for the most part, I guess, if I could read, you like, and when there's some, I guess I don't have to get highly technical, obviously when there's motion or people have attitude problems about something or there is disgruntled issues, then that means God is moving. So this is one of my favorite pictures this summer. And I was trying out well, I'm not even going to get into the makeup thing. I'm just really not into it. Anyway, so I'm just going to show you a few pictures and give you an explanation of what I believe happened and what I try to report. Okay, so this picture right here, is of a third-degree burn. Someone sent me some very hot electrical energy or energy from the outlet, or maybe from a space station. I really don't know, and I'm not trying to find out which one. But what happened was my skin was burned. There's a burn right there. And then what happened next was a person came to heat me up because I guess I had back pain or something. And I didn't ask for it, but the pain that resulted was either from, I don't know, either I fell or something. I don't think it was from, me trying to maintain a healthy weight. But I was being heated up, and actually burned, and it was really hot, and I was sleepy. And the person who came to me, he jokes. Well, it was Steven Zabel, when he came to me or sent whatever it was to me, he was normally joking. And I think the night when he sent whatever he sent to me, he told me that he would be here for me and that he would help me do what needs to be done, and that he would be on my side and stuff. So I really didn't know where he was coming from because he didn't reveal to me that he had eavesdropped on me. And I had a list of 30 things that he's stolen that I can't find on this computer, but maybe towards the end of it I'll look. And so what happened, this was a burn, and you can tell right here from here to down there because it's darker, and then it wasn't open. And what he did was he heat me up so bad that it would cause my skin to blow out, and my skin lifted off of that spot because it already had been like, this is actually a burn and a parasite. And that's how he was able to do that, to cause it to bellow. And then when he burned me, I was asleep. I was actually knocked out. I couldn't get up. Or I didn't think he was going to hurt me. And so it popped. And that's when it started to heal like that. And I have to show video of and I probably should show you now what I look like. Let me see what's going on here. My camera is not, let me see something right quick. Well, it's because I have pictures, but I'll show you, compare this picture again to my stomach now. It was like, lightly protruded or how do you say lightly protruded? Small. It wasn't protruded as much as it is now. And this was a year ago, and my eating habits haven't changed. I eat like a bird. But for the most part, I still had definition up here at the top. And then when I did crunches, my stomach would change. And what James Radcliffe says to me is that he causes me to swell around here, and he puts electricity or electrical orbs in my body. And they're saying this stuff comes from hell, and I don't believe that. It would be different if it was, like when you go to a haunted house or on Haunted House of Mirrors and you hear all that, the background and somebody's laughing and all that stuff. I guess that's what hell's like. I don't know. I've never been. The next picture is of, this is also a burn, which I woke up the next day and I looked on my leg. I think these are other burns right here because I never had these marks on my leg. If I look now, only marks I had on my legs and feet were moles. No dark spots like burns or bruises or anything like that. And like this right here came from me wearing socks. And then these three right here are 3 more burns. And this one, I just woke up the next morning. I look on my leg and I have this burn. I'm like, what happened to me? I still don't have the answer of what happened. And honestly, almost all of what I'm hearing about myself, it comes in like rapid fire, like every day, all day. And I really beg these people to stop. So really what's going, I don't know who did that one, but I was told that the other one was Michael Zabel. And so I'm not going to say it's all him. I know James Radcliffe does things to me. Oh, here's what they did. They bored into my bone. And then they blew something out of my bone like pressure. And it was like dust that came out of my tibia bone. And when it came out, it was like a powder. And where in the hell would you get a powder from in somebody's leg? Most of the stuff, for me, like, I have to figure it out, and I don't know what I'm thinking. Like, if something's coming out of my leg, and it's actually on both legs. Yeah, there's another one. I didn't take a picture of the other one because it's faint, but it was both legs are about the same width up, or saying not width, but length up from my ankle. And so it was on both legs. When it came out, when it blew, whatever was expressed out of my leg, it came out and it didn't burn, but I didn't know what to expect. And so this happened. And I think I emailed the U.S. District Attorney about what happened, but I don't remember the date. And so there's like a lot of stuff I'm remembering, but that I can't remember everything. I think maybe around March or April of last year. And this happened to me. Pamela told me she was practicing voodoo and that she actually took something and scratched herself. This is a boil, and I'm not prone to getting them, but when these people have been mad with me, I've been like in the last 6 years been experiencing boils. So someone else is doing something to me. This scratch was, the person said they scratched themselves, and which caused, when they, I guess, however they did it, caused a scratch on me. And I believe that I had just gone to bed. And who do you call for that, right? I could show somebody. I think the Clifton Heights police will say, she scratched herself, or did you scratch yourself? And then I think also I told them about things like the fact that, what did I tell them? And they said, call the police. Maybe I can see if I can pull up some information about that written report that I sent to the police about, hold on, like somebody attacked me. And I think I had started calling, and a police officer told me, was it internal? Or I think he asked me that. I'm not going to make up stuff, but or do you have proof, is what he said. And I said no, and I said it's internal. But I did send them pictures of this. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go out on a limb and show them these pictures because basically this stuff has happened to me. I've never been like into cutting myself or burning myself or doing anything like that, and I don't recommend that anybody gets involved in that. And so that's that picture of that. It happened once. And then actually in February or the end of, I guess it was like February. So it was maybe near Valentine's Day, or like they actually had somebody cut me with a laser on my left leg. And, I mean, I'm going through all this and I'm like, I feel it, but, why would I know or know I'm experiencing this? Or why would I be experiencing this? And this is probably the reason why I ran for Washington. I was basically, running, for help. Um, and so when they cut me with that laser, I couldn't walk right. Um, I mean, I guess if you get cut by a laser, you wouldn't walk right. And, in a lot of ways, I think they left something in my leg because sometimes I still vary my hip to the right and I pull away from the left. And then let me make sure if that was the leg. They cut me twice though, on both sides. So I mean, it was actually the right one. The left one they cut first, and then they did it again. People could hear when they dropped whatever, however they dropped it, if it was simulated or whatever, or something in my home that was lateral coming down on my body, like a slicing moment, or slicing movement or motion. People heard the echo of the strike on my leg. And everybody, I mean, I can hear them and how it reverberates in my ear, and then it echo. When I say reverberate, is basically echo. It echoed in everyone's ear. This is, and I'm gonna try to rotate it. This is of a bite, and they said it was of a dog bite, and so my dog doesn't sleep in my room. I don't have, anybody in my room, and there wouldn't have been anything to have bitten me. To me, I thought I mean, they have done it before where it looked like or felt like teeth marks on my body. This one, it probably is like some skin thing they did to me to cause something to happen like that. I have like a mosquito bite now that looks similar now that has given me um, my skin fell off. And I only scratched it I scratched and rubbed it maybe no less than 5 or 6 times and put Neosporin on it right away. But I've never had a bite that looks like this, even after scratching. And so this is what my leg looked like. They made my leg swell up. Let me see what makes it look better. Um, this is how my leg looked around my calf. My daughter's leg looks like this all the time. And she's a little person. And her frame is a small frame. And so remembering all her little pictures and what she looked like, she's very petite and she is short. And her grandmother is short and petite. I have short and petite family members, and my body frame is small to a medium. The smallest size I've ever been is an 8. 10 maybe. 8, 10. She's smaller than that. But he has swollen, James Radcliffe, Cuneo, Mario Cuneo, Michael Zabel, all these people who have attacked me. And see, honestly, even the DLA, tonight I recalled sitting at the table, and I don't remember how I recalled this, but I remember hearing somebody say, report everything, as you can, and we will help you. But the people who said that, or the agency who said that, was the Defense Logistics Agency, and they're taking out stuff against me too, because of the cloud. And that's how my legs swell up like that. Let's see if I make it smaller. Okay, so that's the smallest it goes. But the calf size, this is about a 14 when I measured it. If I measured it. I'm sorry, measures it. If I measure it, maybe 13, 14, it's actually, let me try and explain it. When I measure my forearm, it's around 11 inches. That is more than 11. So it'd be around a 14, 15. And then my thighs, typically before, I got all of this problem, I was around a 26, 27. when I'm healthy, I guess, or smaller. They're smaller than that. But that my thighs has been as big as a 29. Um, and so even the measurements all around my body have changed. I mean, some of this could be, if here's the thing, with exercise you can actually beat aging, and so so far so good. But even when I was exercising with not Michael, but I'm sorry, but Michael Zabel was in my house, or was doing a lot of things around the time when I was exercising, like I don't know, looking on the TV or pretending like it's here, or sending like a cold being on me when I decided in April, like I'm getting out of the living room and sleeping on the treadmill to get out of the living room because they were burning me so bad. And people would say it was him in my house, or him bothering me. And also, this is after my arrest. I hear from him, and at times he's been, I don't know, celebratory about the things he's stolen from me, about my Excel spreadsheets, the balance of trade, and all the things that he has done. But honestly, as a matter of fact, I didn't trust the balance of trade because I thought people would steal it. I didn't know it would be him, and Donald Trump wanted me to bring it to him, but I needed a formal invitation or a reason, which I would have been gladly to have given him the Excel spreadsheet. I mean, and it took me like maybe 8 to 10 hours to make it, but if he needed it, he would send, I don't know, somebody here to, or tell me to give it to him or something. I don't know. I mean, this is the first time for me doing government homework. I guess not really. I've been doing it since 2007, so it's really no big deal. And so that's the leg, and then the knee. My knee has never been that big. My knees typically are around, no bigger than my forearm. And then they actually make the back of the knee swell up. So this right here is what they do to older black women. They did this to my grandmother. They gave her rheumatoid arthritis. And what they were doing to me would cause swelling in the knees. And when they had broken my knees. After they did that, they started breaking my knees, which, felt like the kneecap was cracked and swollen, and then it actually felt like I had no kneecap. And this may have been the onset of all that. And then what they do, and when they change them, and I really don't know, maybe they send droids or little bots or little robots, which they've done before, and these bots feel like metal, and so they actually can appear and reappear, and they fucked me up with this shit. Like, they were cutting me, in my legs and my thighs and stuff with them. And so they were telling me that Alshon Jeffrey sent them to me, and Carson Wentz, if that's true, I don't know. But basically, these problems I'm having with these people, because of whoever they're naming, I'm not trying to drop bombs or nothing, but basically what I'm saying is, they were hurting me, and it should have been known that what they were doing was criminal. And I was doing the best I can to work with this, and so based upon, I guess who was listening or not, this is what I was going through. So behind my thigh was, they put chunks of fat behind my legs, or swollen muscles behind my legs. They did it to me when I was in the Army. When I weighed about 148 pounds, I couldn't meditate on my knees. I don't get on my knees at all because of how it hurts. I have to be in intensive workout programs to feel better. I've always been this way after the car accident when I was 19. And so that swollen leg thing, I mean, this is difficult to deal with. And I should have took a picture of the back of the leg. But this, I mean, right here is what goes around the back of my leg. And then right here, that muscle swells and it goes around the back of my leg. And It's been some creepy stuff. Like they're saying, like they sell muscle, like they put things on me and sell it to other people, or they generate this stuff and they sell it to other people, which was bull crap because that's what something I was hearing that the DLA was selling my tissue, which selling my tissue to Adenogene and giving it to other people. But I guess, if I wasn't working out, maybe they would be, I don't know. You have to have access to that type of material to say you're doing that. But most people don't do that. So it doesn't sound like a viable solution or a viable answer to a situation. I'm trying to, let me see if I can either make this bigger. This is a sign of electrocution. When you're electrocuted, two things happen. Your skin turns gray. It actually turned black. So it was actually a gray. So what happens, they burned me and the exit comes out of my arm. I've had exit wound before actually they did this to me a lot. This happened, the first time I saw it, it was in 95. And I had a big rash on my behind that looks like, it's at the top of my hip, behind my, on my back. And it's almost where people would get, I don't know, maybe a tattoo or something. And so it was black. And I felt sick, I guess, or lightheaded. Most of the times I thought I was really going through something, but I don't know if I was burnt, if that was electric. Actually, they told me they started doing this to me when I was at Fort Campbell, and that somebody was coming up along the drive, and I actually remember waking instantly straight up. Well, I woke straight up, and somebody was actually at my window, getting ready to, I guess, either walk up or something. Maybe I was just over alerted. I thought maybe the person was going, down the walk to those, wherever their apartment was, and it parked. When they got out and parked and walked past my door. But something woke me up and I woke straight up. But then right around that time, I'm telling you, I had that black thing on my back. Is about the size of the palm of your hand, and I guess I said, well, I have to eat better for it to go away. But basically, they said they were doing that to me, and it was black, and this was, I guess, on its way to turning black. And then what happens is it falls off. When I get in the shower now, my skin actually, the layers of it's not like, maybe it's 50-50. I really don't know. Maybe I should go see, they want an epidermatologist or a skin doctor anyway, or a dermatologist. Would not really know what this means when I say I'll take a shower, and when I look in the water, it doesn't look like what normally comes off the skin. When you take a shower, it actually looks like something brown, but it isn't, like when you're dirty, it looks like dirt, but when, in this case, it does not. I don't know what that's called, and it's not oil or anything because my skin is not oily, and I'm not using a lot of lotion or anything. But I actually noticed it the last couple of days or weeks I've been in the shower. I've only used sunscreen twice this summer, and when I have been in the sun and wore sunscreen, I always gotten darker, and it either worked or it didn't, but I didn't get as dark this year, so maybe it's not related. But the point of the matter is, when getting in the shower, like what's happening when I am there, I noticed something different in the water than over the last 50 years. And maybe I'll, just continue to look into what that is. But this is either an exit wound. I've been told by Prince Harriet it was syphilis, which I haven't had sex with anybody. So how would you do that? This is another one. What happens typically is, for whatever reason, it seems to be, and if I go to a doctor, they'll probably tell me it's a parasite. But it seems to be when I work out, there's an itch. Um, it's not like eczema, but what I've been able to do to stop it from happening is use oatmeal. Um, and if I had just like maybe I'll probably start buying Aveeno because I used to get that for the kids. I think they used to have like rashes on their skin. Like my daughter used to have raised bumps on her cheek when she was a baby, and it happened up until the age 3. Mm, it lasted for a while. Um, uh, I they try, like when you talk to a doctor, like they only see when it comes to skin, like they don't look into what causes the problem. But she had raised bumps on her cheeks. I'm trying to recall. I mean, there shouldn't have been any reason why she had them, but it kind of reminds me of this because when it dried out, it looked like that. Um, they want to call that rosacea for her. I can see right there's a couple raised bumps there. And then sometimes when I have this, I will get a raised bump. And like right here, there's raised bumps here. So on her skin, there was prickly, they call this prickly heat for whatever reason. But it was in the wintertime. Um, and prickly heat only happens in the summertime. And when she kept it, like when she was like maybe less than 1, and then a couple times it happened up until age 5. And I guess because of some of the problem. I mean, I did take pictures of her. I just didn't take pictures of that. And so this is another a scratch or it itches, right? And so this is near either the arm. It's actually near the armpit, near the bra line, or just outside of the bra line, and it itches when I work out. And I think it's because the salt from my skin, which I was never having problems with salt from my skin, and sweat because I drink enough water, so it itches because of that. And then it itches because of even sweat, just the moisture itself. So I mean, at some point I just stopped hating. I hated the sweat, and I actually always have because when I would run, I'd actually get almost like a small panic attack, which happened to me when I was in Fort Campbell. Um, and I don't know why. I never had problems with breathing. And then I end up coming up with some type of like bronchitis or bronchial stuff. And then it went from bronchial to fluid on my lungs. And Jamie Cuneo said, get it off me, that he put something on me and my daughter's lungs. He caused my daughter to have asthma. And for me, I had actually pneumonia. I had pneumonia for I started getting pneumonia because I could hear it. Well, in Fort Campbell, and I had it for over 10 years. Well, no, actually, no. Let me try it again. Fort Campbell's 97. I got out in 2003. I was going to the Y to sweat this out as long as 2013, 14, going to the sauna to get a moisture off my lungs. And that would actually have caused lung failure. And my son has a friend who died from lung failure from fluid on his lungs. And this guy was pretty bright and very smart. He was a good friend of my son. He's from the Allegheny or Erie Tarsdale area, and I know his mom missed him so much. And it's sad, but he died of actually he died of lung failure and too much fluid on the lungs. And he's Dominican, I think, Dominican or was Dominican. This is another picture of what it looks like when it's darker on my arm. So I should have put those two together. And then down here is where the other burns were. So it's all around here. This, you see that line? I mean, if I see create and draw, let's see. Let's see. This is a V pattern, and it's light, but it hurt. It hurt so bad. It's like there was a whelp underneath there. Let me move that. Let me see if I can go back. If it wasn't as brown as my skin, you actually can see it. It's about a couple centimeters, and it goes like this. And so it's across two bumps that they cause, and these are not hair bumps. I don't have follicle issues, as I know of. I mean, I never had ingrown hairs, and so when I shave, nothing. There's no ingrown on my leg. Why would I have that? You don't get ingrown, on your legs per se. And so it's here, and it's like this and like that, and across two bumps that they cause, which it, I don't know, it itch. They're saying that they were putting people like what is flatworms or worms from the intestine on people or on me to cause this problem, and they put them. The way it kind of works is like normally if I can't see it, I don't understand what they're meaning. But I've been taking elderberry to stop all this, and I think it actually works to include, eating more yogurt. This is a picture of my thigh. And I do believe this was, I was running. I was still running. I thought I was having heart failure. But what I think happened was I was running, and my leg, he caused my leg to swell up doing something with it. They say they put capacitors in the body, or they drop like certain things from, I don't even know what they're dropping out or where it's coming from. And the explanation, comes from the people from NASA, the space program, and the military. They know everything about this. It looks about 30 inches. I didn't even measure this. I've never been this big, even in pregnancy. My leg in pregnancy probably would have been like right here. And so when you're pregnant, you gain this kind of weight. This is, this is not my body type or how I've ever seen it. And after I even put on 272 pounds in pregnancy, I did not look like that. On this picture, I was probably like 220. I lost maybe before this. This was July. So I started working out in March. I lost 10 pounds, 20 pounds right away. So I went from 220 to 200. Same thing. It just happened. I lost 10 pounds, actually 20 pounds again 6 weeks ago. Went from 200 to 220 to 200 again, back up to 210. And so what he does is he shifts this all, whatever this is up above my waist, and causes me to have problems above my waist and below my waist. And so in a lot of people, people who struggle, there's a lot of people who struggle for no reason, because the body is almost like it's self-maintenance or self-maintaining based on what you eat, right? And I've been eating a lot better than I did when I was in my 20s, and not even bad then, because I'm still here, with a pretty good, okay, diet. My cholesterol is even bad based on how I eat, which makes no sense. I've had cholesterol problems. My cholesterol was not, and my daughter does too, I can tell. So, I just need whatever, because he just moved something out of my back along across ways behind my liver. My daughter, which I'm scared to take her in for labs right now, because they do so many things in that hospital. They actually kicked us out. They wouldn't even operate on her there at that hospital, and then they end up putting blunt screws in her leg. And so, this is just something that the military has to explain. So anyway, my point is, my cholesterol wasn't bad, but the bad lipids were bad, a lot higher than it should have been for someone who eats pretty okay. I don't eat fried foods a lot. Me and my children don't eat fried foods. Um, my LDL was over 100. Then my HDL has never been over 100 for the last 20 years. And so basically, I should not be having cholesterol problems, what I do. And this probably could be attributed to a plethora of things that I wouldn't know. They said that they take the female undergarments product and cause people to have asbestos. Asbestos is close to mesothelioma, and the talc powder, which there's still talc powder in panty liners and things like that. I wear them because they embarrass me so much. They make they cause adrenaline fluid to leak from behind my back down to my undergarments. I think they do the same thing to my daughter. She has she has had perpetual poop stains in her undergarments. And I thought it was like more of just getting acclimated to having the monthly. But it wasn't that. They were using probes on her to cause her to defecate on herself or have a leaky gut and leaky bowel syndrome, which is IBS, and most children don't have that. I was even going through a bout of IBS or some form of parasite or some irritation in my lower intestine and rectum, but I never had that. I mean, I had leaky bowel, but when I ate, apples, which, I'm going to have to redo something what I did with the apples, but when I ate apples and fiber, it actually gets better. But with age and all these problems on a person, they cause your body to break down. And I probably should have took a picture of my right leg, which you can see it's kind of my right leg is smaller because they did not mess with it. So my right leg has never been as big as my left because anatomically I'm not correct. Like my left side is bigger than my right by an inch. And then on my right side, it's smaller. So the way this leg is actually sitting across or on that other leg is because this is the area that causes my thigh, the inner thighs, to be like this. And they call them saddlebags, which, are we kidding? The inner thighs don't have saddlebags. And so, many African American that white men don't like or whoever are picking on people who age prematurely, even in their lives, based upon their own, I'll say, physique and metabolism. This should not be happening. Another one of those pictures that's lighter, and it's darker again. So that's what it looks like. But this is a few days after it began, and that's that graying right there. And African Americans, they say that frostbite turns black. And when I heard that crap, I'm like, I almost threw something. I don't really, or black people's digits turn black. I don't believe that. There's probably something more of a thermal situation in a cold environment, because I actually almost froze to death. Okay, here's how it goes. We were actually working out in the field when I was in South Carolina, and it was cold. And I also froze again in Kentucky, and nothing turned blue. Nothing turned blue and nothing turned purple. So when you frostbite, you turn black. And so I'm not buying it. It has to be some form of agitation of soldiers in the field. This is a bruise. I've never bruised on my fingers ever before. I slammed my hands in the door. This wasn't one of those cases. If I slammed my hand in the door, I would have a hand injury. I did not. This actually showed up like I woke up like the next day, and I'm in my car and I noticed this on my hand. I'm like, what the hell? And when I see it, I look at my hand now. There actually is shading in my finger right now. And then I actually have a callus in my hand that shouldn't be, that is actually agitated, and I have calluses on my feet that has been agitated since age 8. Um, I never had tinea pedis, or athlete's foot, and nothing treats what's going on with me, and something causes my skin to have a rash. Now I'm getting on my the blade of my foot, and 50-50 it might be. I mean, I should not be having this irritant, but 50-50 it could be because of sweating in my socks. But the way it happens, it happened periodically. It would go away, but now since I've been using Neosporin on my feet, it's not a problem now. It doesn't. I mean, actually, I'm not telling the truth. I'm actually getting an irritant, in other places where I shouldn't. But this is happening to me only because something is causing that problem. And I hope that is not happening with my child either. And I'm also going to have to open up a video, no, sorry, an email about what happened to my daughter, or what her father said he did to her. I'm going to show you a picture of my nativity scene that I bought brand new from Home Depot, and within 2 weeks, Harry told me he burned out this side of the nativity scene arch. I think it cost me like $100, and I didn't want to take it back. And if this was lighter, you'd see my hair. I probably should have, let me see if I can lighten it, but I should have actually made this lighter so you can see. There's my hair right there. Let's see. Okay, you see it right here? That's my hair right there. And then this is what it looked like full. So you can see right in there, it looks nothing like that. So I basically had, and this is after I relaxed, I guess, maybe December. So it was December, and then maybe 3 months later. And so it was, after a number of years, I don't have to relax as often, which I'm okay with that, and that's why it has grown as much it has. And so let me just lighten it all the way up. If I can move it. All right, there it is. So I still have density right in here. Now, this is on that, on this picture I have density. Right now I don't have that. Even after, even, I don't know, even after what, I don't even know what to say there. Let me see if I can do something else. This is the longest my hair has ever been. And it's not like I'm doing anything different. I think maybe it was, I don't know, overall the number of years I was drinking Shakeology or something. So let me see if I can do something else here. I guess I'm going to have to keep this picture because, it'd take a long time for it to come back. So I'll save that. So that's what it looks like lightened, but it was very dark in there when I took it. That's what it looks like on the, and even the camera phone shouldn't have been that way either, because I think, somebody manipulated what was going on the phone. And so let me see if I can get to, I may have saved the email about what happened to my daughter. Let me see if I can get into it. I just emailed well, I don't even know what to look for here. I just emailed the U.S. District Attorney about what happened to her. And I went through everything. I talked to Mario Cuneo, James Radcliffe, whoever, James Cuneo, all these people who, do what they do, and they call it, like, I don't even, you know what, I'm just dealing with people I don't know exactly how to put it. I'm sorry, I try to explain it to try to make sense, so if anything happens to anybody else, they can kind of understand what's going on. All right, so this is what I went over with James Radcliffe. Hopefully I can get this on my, so you can see it. Well, I have to choose it. Hold on a second. Oops. Let me see. I don't think I'll be able to get rid of that. But anyway, so here it is. All right. James Radcliffe said that he and Pamela Tall and Jane Addams Martin had, as a contracting specialist, and the former for stealing inventions from the Navy. I don't know what I meant by that. They wanted me to know how mean they are to their employees. They also wanted me to know, imparting, how to diagnose medical diseases and disorders caused by Angolian Bushmen who attacked the nation of Congo and Africa before the Continental Divide. I don't know. James Radcliffe told me that. Prior to this, I was shown that I could have 7 systems, like reptiles who have systems in their tongue, spine, skin, and eyes that not only protect them but function as an ecosystem. Here's what the witchy doctor told me. Lymph nodes and bone mass problems found in my daughter's body were put in her by James Radcliffe to give her the following disorders for Brian Self, who hates me for having an Italian daughter due to jealousy surrounding skin complexion, for Richard Ellis's hate crimes. This is a common practice of people who attack people who are affiliated with organized criminals from Caribbean and European countries. I was no longer with Brian Self when I was pregnant. He and James Cuneo were trying to kill her when I was carrying her. They said he gave her an extra pediatric rib, a spectrum of abnormalities called lymphangiomatosis, or matitis is a rare idiopathic disease of children and adolescents that is thought to represent a malformation of lymphatic vessels. This is a vessel. It's actually your lymph node system, which this sounds out of this world. Let me see. Well, I don't have the computer up, so I don't want anybody on this computer. Let me see. I don't have anybody. I have one person on 239-255-255-250. I don't know who that is. I looked it up. I've had to find out who it is. But anyway, rib lymphangiomass or phangiomass appears as well-defined areas of leucine. I think that's based on an X-ray. This lucent lesions can coalesce and replace large parts of the affected bone. I never knew you had a problem with lymph nodes, I think, and bones. I don't know. And so he said this came from radiation or electromagnetic DOD5G spectrum patches. And so basically he said what's bothering her has been put on her body and been causing her to have problems with her ribs. He said Gorham disease is a term used when one or more bones become replaced by abnormal lymphatic vessels. Differential diagnostic probabilities include Langerhans cell histology histiocytosis or histocytosis, fibrous dysplasia, and hyperparathyroidism, brown tumors, pediatric rib spectrum abnormalities, radiographics, and the Gorham-Stout is reduction in mass and bone, like can be done if James Radcliffe removes them, like the ones found in her foot above, removes them in like foot above. I don't know. Removes them like foot above. This right here is a mass. That is not a good X-ray. And all this right here is, I don't know, pollution. I don't even know what to call it. You see this right here? All that is supposed to be her. And so basically, you know, I don't know what he meant by, but I'm thinking, okay, so like the ones shown in the X-ray, I guess what that means is that Gorham-Stout is reduction of mass bone, and mass bone is like maybe what's there. See that? And so when I watch her feet, I watch what she wears. I suggest, I like it. I used to wear or want to wear boots all the time, and when I started wearing them, it also supported my instep because I had, I think the doctor said a rolling instep or something like that, but I didn't always have it. I didn't have it until I moved to Philadelphia. And James Cuneo said he did that to me because my dad did not want me to be here, but he's lying because James Cuneo has always been doing something to my body. He has like over, I don't know, millions of things he's done to me, which he should be held accountable for it. And I'm not trying to hear it, but I mean, I'm doing this tonight because I want to show, people on YouTube what I'm going through, and try to, talk about the fact that this should not be happening, and also the fact that, I'm going through a lot with Michael Zabel, who thinks he's entitled to what he's stolen from me. I don't understand why the hell he's acting this way. What kind of disease is Gorman-Stout? It says Gorman-Stout disease, which is also known as vanishing bone disease, disappearing bone disease, massive osteolysis, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, osteolysis, and more than half a dozen other terms in the medical literature, is a rare bone disorder caused or characterized by progressive bone loss and the overgrowth proliferation of lymphatic vessels. Maybe I should find out what that means. I got something on my hand now. It's some swollen tissue on my finger. I don't even know where. I just noticed it now. And this is actually the skin. I was having skin problems a long time. When I was 16, this color of my skin would turn like mahogany. Like whose skin turns mahogany? I mean, it looked like raised velvet and mahogany. And so let me look up this word. I also did, after 16, and my daughter and my son have, if I can spell, shrimp disorders that they shouldn't have at all. And I don't know what they did to cause those. And they play games with me, and it's weird. It's weird. And he's moving things, weird. It is weird. Lymphomatic. So okay, the lymph is a clear yellowish body fluid. Lymphatic is fluid. So it's fluid. Lymphatic vessel. Really? Are you serious? What's a vessel? What's a lymphatic vessel? It's like actually a bolt that's going somewhere. I mean, no. All right, so how dangerous is hyperparathyroidism? Hypoparathyroidism is a serious disease that becomes very destructive with time. Over time, it can lead to problems throughout the body, including osteoporosis, high blood pressure, kidney stones. They gave me that. Kidney failure, I don't even know. Kidney failure, actually, yeah, I've had that for too long. I've had that since 1993. Stroke, no, cardiac arrhythmias, I've had those. Um, Langerhans cell histocytosis is an abnormal clonal proliferation of Langerhans cells, abnormal cells deriving from bone marrow and capable of migrating from skin to lymph nodes. Really? Symptoms range from isolated bone lesions to multi-system diseases. Um, okay, I'm going out on a limb with myself when what they shot out of the side of my bone, then what caused something to my skin so migrating from skin to lymph nodes or maybe vice versa. But what would have caused a problem in the bone marrow? And so maybe that's something I would see with me, but he said he did it to Alana. And, I'm asking if these people had the ability to do something, then just just go ahead and fix it. Fibrous dysplasia is an uncommon bone disorder in which scar-like fibrous tissue develop in place of normal bone. And so I didn't take notes on what he meant, but he said it was something that was going on. So it may occur at multiple sites and multiple bones. Single bone involvement usually occurs in adolescence and young. Okay, this probably happened with me, and I don't even know why fibrous dysplasia. Scar-like fiber tissue develops in place of normal bone. They have been giving me and my daughter extra hips, making our hips bigger. I'm sick of what Harry put on me. He put something on me to cause my hips to spread like that. He did it to my daughter. And he does it to cause me to be big in the behind. And then, I don't give a, whatever he likes, and you go find somebody who likes that. But, that's not my deal. So ankylosing spondylitis is an inflammatory disease that over time can cause some of the small bones in your spine to fuse. I don't even know why I put that there. I thought it was whatever that is, spondylitis. I thought that was something with the muscles. Like, I thought the muscles became like overly swollen. And I'm going to see what else I put here. So it's small bones in the spine to fuse to the vertebrae. Okay, so what they did to her. They crushed her back. He told me he did this to her. He crushed her back. They did the same thing to me. They broke off the flanges and I call them flanges. Maybe it's not that, but the small bones on the vertebrae to cause my vertebrae to have a hump, to be connected like a fish, is what they called it. And this happened after my car accident in 1991, and it actually does hurt. So it's defending. They say it's the thinning of bones that cause kyphosis, or it's like a hump on the back. So it says can cause small bones in your spine to fuse. This fusing is connective tissue actually. And so honestly, inflammatory disease over time cause the small bone in it's connective tissue on the back that causes the fusion between the vertebrae. So it's a correction in the muscle. Is really what it is. And this fusing makes the spine less flexible and result in a hunched forward posture. If the ribs are affected, it's difficult to breathe deeply it says to breathe deeply. I'm sorry. Difficult to breathe deeply. And so Yeah, I've had that, and with the ribs, um, I used to get pains or like pins in my side when I was breathing. I'm still getting problems now, and it keeps breaking my back or doing something to it. And I don't, this guy's weird, and it's like, well, you need to have sex with me and my wife, or accept AIDS and all this bullshit. James Radcliffe said that Harry took the back bones from my vertebrae and put them in my daughter on her back to cause her back to swell. I actually have ankylosing spondylitis and broken vertebrae due to a car accident in November 1991. Ankylospondylosis affects men more often than women. Signs and symptoms typically begin in early adulthood. Inflammation also can occur in other parts of your body, most commonly your eyes. What? There is no cure for, and this stuff is in your eyes? And there's no cure for ankylosing spondylitis, but treatments can lessen your symptoms and possibly slow progression of the disease. Okay, so I'm from the back to the eyes. Can you give me a break. Um, I wish I could move that. Normally you're able to collapse that. Anyway. Uh, all right, so next thing, I think I talked about this, maybe I did. Lymphangiomatosis results from mass put in my daughter's lungs. Um, that's what they said they put in her lungs. It's malfunctions of the lymphatic. So what they're saying is from the viscera and or it's found diffusely and parenchymal viscera and bones. I don't know what that is. Anyway, um, he said he put it in her lungs, put it in my lungs. So anyway, results from mass put in daughter's lungs, like James Cuddio gave me in 1997. What are the symptoms of that in the lungs? The symptoms of, and actually it is a disease, lymphangiomatosis depend on where the tumors are growing in the body. Lungs may cause a chronic cough, wheezing, shortness of breath, a collection of fluid around the lungs, bones, weakening of the bones, leading to fracture, pinned nerves, in the spine. So I did have that, or I'm fighting with to get rid of it. I guess I'm going back over what I wrote, and then I'm talking about what happened. Gorman stout is reduction of mass, like can be done if James Radcliffe removes them, like the ones found in her foot X-ray above. What kind of disease is Gorham stout disease? It is also called a vanishing bone, disappearing bone, like I read before. Symptoms of this of angiosling spondylitis. Um, Early symptoms of this might include pains and stiffness in your lower back and hips, especially in the morning at the periods of inactivity. This is what was happening to me in Fort Campbell. I couldn't move. I could not get up. I was 20. Actually, it happened before then. It happened to me for a very long time, until 2012. Um, then they were also putting things on and actually I didn't know all this would happen to me, but something happened to me. I knew I was getting attacked on my body after I had um, HPV. And so I got something really bad. I don't have bone spurs on my ankle, but I remember someone mentioning bone spurs to me in Fort Campbell in 1997 or so. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need to worry about that. It's not my situation. I don't get them. But it was, most people don't talk about aches and pains at 27. Anyway, joint between the base of your spine and your pelvis. What is this? Common areas. The joint between the base of your spine and your pelvis, which I wasn't having problems there, and it started. The vertebrae in your lower back. The places where your tendons and ligaments attach to your bones, which is totally different from the other descriptions of this ankylosing spondylitis. The cartilage between your breastbone and the ribs, your hips and shoulder joints. Um, Went to see a doctor. Seek medical attention if you have low back or buttock pain that come on slowly and worse in the morning, or wakens you from your sleep in the second half of the night. I never knew this. Um, I had this with that car accident. I didn't know what to expect. I couldn't sleep, and I used to always wake up at night. See an eye specialist immediately if you develop a painful red eye, severe light sensitivity, or blurred vision. I had all this, but see, I thought this, whatever you have go wrong with your eyes, I thought it was actually basically your eyes going bad. I was told I had, bad eyes. My daughter too, and I didn't know it was based upon something. Again, that this. Let me just read it, what it means and where it comes from. It is just it is inflammation. Why in the back and the vertebrae and the eyes? I don't even know. Oh, and so I read that. It says genetic factors, and particularly with people who have a gene called um, a well, you can see it for yourself, are at greatly increased risk of developing it. However, only some people with the gene develop the condition. Risk factors: your men or your sex. Men are more likely to develop that than women. Onset generally occurs in late adolescence or early adulthood. Um, Most people have this from that gene, but many people who have this gene never develop this. So that just overrules what that means. So you don't even have to have that stupid gene. Complications. Newborn forms as part of the body attempt to heal. This newborn bone gradually bridges the gap between the vertebrae and eventually fuses section of the bone. Those parts of your spine become stiff and inflexible. Fusion can stiffen your rib cage, restricting your lung capacity and function. But once you have kyphosis, it's totally different. Your back is screwed. You just don't have a an arch in your back. Um, I had upper and lower arches, and basically, uh, I lost both of them with that car accident. Other complications: eye inflammation. One of the most common complications is uveitis, which cause rapid onset eye pain, sensitivity to light and blurred vision. I take Ocuvite. I've taken that for years with my daughter, and I also take blue light medicine or supplements. See your doctor right away if you develop these. Compression fractures between bones, then during the early stages of ankylosing spondylitis, weakened vertebrae can crumble, increasing the severity of your stooped posture. Um, wow. Vertebrae fractures can put pressure on and possibly injure the spinal cord and the nerves that pass through it. That's something that happened to me. And heart problems. It can cause the heart problems of your aorta, the largest artery in your body. Inflamed aorta can enlarge to the point that it distorts the shape of the aortic valve and the heart, which impairs its function. And so that's the overall gist of what's going on with that email. Um, Basically, here is, let me see if I can get this. Well, I did show the picture of her leg, so I'm not going to bring that up right quick. I'll just change um, what you see. It's been hard. This is, I think if I wasn't doing these videos, I probably would not be doing them. I'm doing these videos to kind of give myself a voice I never had with regards to this. I never thought that, hold on one second, you know, I never thought that, and I'm not gonna, I guess I don't have a picture anyway. Um, I, I gave myself a voice I never had. I never thought I needed a voice when it came to what was going on with me. And, I wasn't looking for any help with, they're saying that they did all this stuff to cause me to have, increased rating or something like that. And, when I talked to the, the people who I need to talk to, they, there is no increased rating. And so basically, um, this is just been hard to deal with. And, I'm just letting you know just a little bit of what has gone on. I'm not, interested in doing this all my life. And, but for the most part, they are attacking me for something that doesn't belong to them. It's really the issue. They are abusing whatever they are abusing, and all this that they're doing is not customary. And it should stop. And all this fraud that has been happening, has been causing problems with me and my children, to include some physical harm. And so basically, I need my children to know exactly what's going on. And I guess if that means that we have to develop, wow, that's an hour now, sorry, to develop a strong faith to get over this, then maybe perhaps that's needed. Because, honestly, um, let me just get this back. Anyway, it was black for now. So anyway, a strong life, a prayer life to get over this and get through this, because I don't think there's compromise in this. I really don't. I when I couldn't see them, I was in pain in the hospital. There was no one there to save me, and there was no one to talk to other than the hospital staff, and they wanted to commit me for the rest of my life for telling them what was going on with me. And so um, it's hard. It's hard. They even make your bones swell. I'm having swollen bones issues right now that I wouldn't normally have. Like my left knee shouldn't be swollen or bigger than the right, which I'm not that. I mean, I do, like, as far as body size, that's why my left side is bigger than my right, as far as how my muscle is. But my knee shouldn't be swollen. This guy has replaced my kneecap. I've done so many things to him. It's just ridiculous. So pray for me. Just pray for me. I'll continue to be praying, but there's I don't know. I don't want to turn this into some type of sideshow. It's not a side hustle for me. It's not something that I'm doing because I enjoy it. I'm letting people know what's happened to me. And, I hope that someone, takes a notice and understand that this shouldn't be happening. I have no role in what's going on. And if somebody hates me, it's only because he's trying to kill me. Again, for what does not belong to him. And if that was the case, then, I didn't know about it. And so here's the thing, it was a threat that came out about that if, I guess, you don't do what is necessary. It's actually not even a threat. It was like an ultimatum. And the ultimatum would be from Harry, because he did the same thing to Richard Ellis. he told Richard Ellis, if you don't stop raping your wife, that I'm going to go public with with what happened. And basically, I talk so he doesn't have leverage over the people that live in the United States, even though he lives here, is not, born here. And if he's got leverage over these people to do what's right, far be it for me to let that happen, because I need this to stop. And he's already declared, so much of a war on America to take what we have in so many ways, because he has enough money to do it, I guess, or he's earned so much money from within the federal government to do it. And, whatever. Anyway, I'm sick of all of it. And so he's probably doing the same. So anyway, like I'm saying, he's probably doing the same thing with Michael Zabel, and saying that, if you don't tell her the truth, or tell the truth, then I'm going to tell the world about what you're doing. I'm just hypothetical, because I don't know who's doing that to him. And he's been at me for a long time, or so to speak, having somebody do things to me for a long time. So I gotta go. Hopefully it works out, because what's going on here doesn't make sense.